Hi. Hi. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about. So let's talk about it. The Eurovision just occurred and the results have been announced. It's all over. So let's talk about it. By the way, I should start off by saying that there will be, but if you clicked this video and didn't expect there to be spoilers, I really wonder what you're expecting to get out of this. But let's talk about it. So I'm just going to share this link to see if people can get watching. But I'd like to see comments. You can comment your thoughts. I'm hoping people haven't gone straight to sleep. Cool? Let's see. I'm going to intercept and go straight to the fan club. There should be so many of you. It's the friggin' finale. So I got a lot to say. Okay. Okay, so I might send it over to here as well. Comment, let me know what you thought about the results. Tell me which country you're from and also where the results are, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Tell me which country you're from and tell me what you thought. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I thought. So I'm, as you know, Netherlands has won. I'm so proud of Australia. She did really well. Shall we talk about Australia first? It was really good. I loved it from the semi-final one. I got chills. I couldn't believe it. I saw this on Australia Decides, and I liked the song a lot. When she performed at the national selection, I wasn't a fan of the dress, but and it wasn't my favorite at Australia Decides. Actually, it was my third favorite on the night, and it was my second favorite. But I really liked Talia Nanos, and that was the second favorite song for me. And Electric Feels is my favorite always. She won, and I was very happy though because I love Kate Miller-Heidke. I love the song. And then when I heard that they were changing the staging, I was like, oh, thank goodness, because I hate that dress. I thought that she would be like grounded, and then when she performed, she was up in the air flying, and as you know, doing all that. And I couldn't believe it. It was nothing that I had imagined. And she won me over. There was a lot of buzz. It was good. You know what? No matter what, the fact that I had that buzz occur in my life for you, Australia, it was a great feeling to have that buzz and people be like, oh my God, people coming out of the woodworks and talking about, we had people coming out of the grave talking about Australia. So, no, it was great. And so I just was riding that wave because I was like, you don't know. And then the grand final took place. Now, what I thought of it tonight or this morning here was that I felt like she actually wasn't giving us a lot of, like, she wasn't giving 100%, but she was still amazing. She did incredible stuff. Now, there was one thing I absolutely loved that she did, and she's like, oh, that's right, where it goes like, stone in my shoe. That bit, she was like, um, no, lock with no key, sorry. The bit is like, hey, you. Dun, 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 lock with no key. She went, lock. Oh, I can't even remember what she did now. She's like, lock with no key, or whatever she did. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. But her at the end, like the nothing hold me down was not as explosive as the semi-final one. And she seems a lot more nervous. Maybe she just thought this is the moment. The hype was on her before. No one was really giving her that much pressure. She just seemed a little she seemed fine, but she seemed like she had a lot more adrenaline. And so she was still amazing, and I was like, she's still amazing. Um and and I was wondering how she performed in the jury, and I really thought that For us, we had to get our points from the jury because I was like, we don't do that great, even if everyone's talking about it. I don't know. So anyway, the jury voted us a lot of points, which I'm really happy about. We weren't up there like people were saying we were going to be. It was never like a us versus a few other people, but it was great to see North Macedonia, and I'll talk about North Macedonia as well. But I was really happy we came sixth in the jury. And can anyone tell us? I completely forgot what Australia came in the televote, but we got 100 and something points, which is a really respectable amount. The fact that there was so much swing means that we actually got a pretty good enough place. We ended up coming ninth. We've come ninth before in 2017 with Isaiah Firebrace. This song is so much better than that song. And in that case, it was a fourth place by the jury and a 25th place by the televote. So this is just I'm only getting placement. I'm not getting the jury and televote split yet. But if someone can tell me if they if they worked out what place Australia came in the televote, that'd be great. Shall we talk about what should we talk about? Oh my god, where to start? I'm going to start with Germany because they deserve getting a bit of a mention. Germany, nil point. They didn't deserve that. I spoke about it with Stuart earlier this year about Germany kind of being the cursed nation, and we were hoping that last year they broke the curse with their song, you know the one, "You Let Me Walk Alone," blah 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 blah. I'm one of the one. But so nil point again from not the jury, nil point from the televote. Yeah, nil point from the televote, which means that they got, where are they? They got 32 points from the jury, and they're not last. Okay, I say, shall we talk about, let's go in order, because last is United Kingdom, and I've decided they need the most mention. I voted for United Kingdom. I actually do a system. I should have made a whole video about this beforehand, but I just didn't have time. And I will make a video up about this anyway, so people can go do it for reference later. But televote need to vote more like the jury. The jury have a really powerful way of voting in that they actually rank everyone. We only vote for our number one, and that is really different. We would be in a better position if we could distribute votes more. So I actually vote as kind of my own little jury. And I don't know how it works in your country, but in Australia, we have maximum 20 votes. And so I'm assuming everyone gets maximum 20 votes for fairness. And so I actually divide it by, I don't divide it, but I give 4 countries votes. And I do it by giving 2 points to my 4th favorite, 3 points to my 4th favorite, 2 points to my 4th favorite, 3 points to my 3rd favorite, 5 points to my 2nd favorite, and 10 points to my favorite. That's how I do it. And I'm kind of happy with that decision that I made. I know a lot of people get annoyed when you vote for more than one because, you're kind of like, you're not really helping your favorite country. But that's how I do it. And I gave Michael Rice 4 points because it ended up being my 3rd favorite after Armenia got taken out of the semi-final. So, yeah. What did I think? The staging was terrible. Is UK a Big 5 country still? Because I wonder where they're putting their money in. It's interesting that the United Kingdom would put so much money into Eurovision and then give a really cheap performance. Everyone did their part. Laurel and John wrote their great song. Michael Rice sang it and won it, and even had a good national selection. I think I preferred the national selection performance than this one. I will say I really did like it when the backing singers actually came in and circled around him, or I think he was like a part of the circle. He wasn't even in the middle, and it kind of like it looked like hippies dancing. It actually looked really cool. Um, and yeah, and so I actually liked it after halfway through. So Michael Rice sang it well. I liked. Sometimes the only thing I don't like about him is that he kind of ad libs right at the beginning. So sometimes I say stick to a melody like that. Like I know I always say I wanted them to go like around and riff, but it's like take my hand, there's a thing to you. I will make it clear it's me or you. But he'd be like, take my hand, did I sing to you? And I was like, there's only so much you can do of that. And this one he didn't. He just take my hand as I sing to you, and I was glad he did that. He then went, it's me and you, which yeah, I'm not such a fan of that, but right at the beginning, maybe second verse do that. But vocally, he was on point. He sang a great key change, and yeah, he was good. Everything about him was great, um, and just going to have a great career. I just know it. When he has, I'd like to hear him now, like a pop song, like a full on, or an R&B song, a really well produced track. That would be really cool. So I look forward to that, hearing like a radio song. And I really liked United Kingdom. I'm sorry, I thought it was the best since 2009, but United Kingdom is cursed as well. The jury didn't even get on board with United Kingdom. So disappointing. I think they were 23rd or 24th or 25th. I can't even remember now. I really need that jury breakdown. It's not on here. I might have to look at this through another way. I might look at it. I might find another source. I'm going to find another source, or someone can comment me like a. Okay, that's what I'm going to find. Eurovision 2019 jury televote breakdown, because I need to see this televote ranking. Love the system they used. Keep doing that every year. I loved how they went from the jury and then the votes changed, and I'll get to that in a moment. I've got an article about. Let's see what we get. Okay, cool. This is a little bit better. It's telling me points. I like to see the ranking, but it's got a good table. Okay, we'll do it like this. Yeah, okay, that works. That's great. Okay, so United Kingdom came 26. Yeah. Okay, United Kingdom came 26 in the jury and 23rd. Wait, I can't see. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Okay, I'm confused. I don't like this system now. I'm getting a clear. Okay, we'll just go with this. Oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. All right. So United Kingdom came 25th in the televote as well. All right. So, okay, we got some comments. Armsies says, "Heyo, is Armsies you were the one that liked Georgia and you're from Georgia?" We've got Angelina who says, "I'm Dutch." Well, congratulations, Angelina. I love speaking to people who are winning people. How are you feeling right now? That's what I want to know. I want to be you. Please let us win one year. Oh, you're not. I'm Ziz. Okay, sorry. I thought you were someone else. Which country are you from? Okay, Angelina says, "I'm feeling amazing. He deserved it so much." Well, I'm glad you're feeling amazing. I say take it all in. Love it. So hyped. It was so exciting, honestly. So intense. Angelina says, "Wow." This is from Iceland, supported Iceland. Look, on this video, I like to talk about other countries we like to support. Because a lot of countries come on here and say they like their own countries. So Angelina is half Italian, so it's amazing that they got second. So would you say Italy was your favorite after your own country? And Arms, who was your favorite apart from Iceland? Who's your second favorite? I'm curious. Um, as we go through that, we'll talk about the next place. 25th was Belarus. Okay, well, guess who I voted fourth place? You guessed it, Belarus. I gave 2 votes to Belarus. Did I? No, I gave 3. Sorry, I gave 3 votes to Belarus, 4 votes to Michael Rice. By the process that I said. Okay, we've got Quint 34577 says, "How did Ireland do?" Okay, well, let's talk about Ireland. Ireland did not make the semi-final, make it past the semi-final. They were second to perform in semi-final 2. They had like a 1950s stage design with strawberry milkshakes. Really cool design, actually. I thought it was great staging. And the singer Sarah McTernan, she was great. I love her voice. She had different vocals than the studio. For me, she was very breathy, airy, and she was also kind of ahead of the tempo. And I think that's just what she was at. She was like every time, and the beat was like a little bit slower. But that was my 15th favorite song, and I really liked it. And it was my second biggest grower this year, that song. So, yeah. I'll be interested to see how they did in the voting, because it'll be announced the jury and televote split in semi-final 2. So I can't wait to have a look at that. Yes, Angelina says that Italy was actually her second favorite, so that's interesting. And she actually enjoyed Hungary, but they didn't get through. I know. I hear. Quint 34577. You're from Ireland, I'm assuming, and you don't follow Eurovision, but somehow this video came across you, which is interesting. I wonder why that is. So I don't think you follow Eurovision, and you're shocked that you didn't win. You know what? Ireland is the most successful country of all time, 7 wins. So yeah, but they haven't won in a really long time. So since the 90s, they had that 90s streak where they had it in the bag almost every year. And then they brought in a turkey one year. Angelina says the only thing that was a bit rid of Iceland was the Palestine flag. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit deep here, and I'm okay to talk about deep, as long as everyone is respectful. No hate speech is my rule. I don't know why they even recorded that, but they were different, which was kind of cool, I guess. Why they chose to do it, or why they still recorded it. They probably didn't know it's happening. There will be a lot more. Clearly, Eurovision, they've kind of shown that the EBU aren't really focused on security of the artists or the delegations, because somehow they got this in. And if they checked the artists' bags or something, they would have found it. But anyway, look, I'm okay. Angelina, you're from Netherlands. Netherlands is a very free country in terms of speech, I'm thinking. I think you have good freedom of speech and press freedom there, as does Australia to a somewhat high degree. And I think it's okay. And so, by the way, so does Israel. Israel boasts a high freedom level. So I think it's okay to protest. And I think they did it fine. They didn't offend. I don't think they actually offended anyone. They put that up, and they'll get people having a discussion. They did their thing, and that's kind of okay. But okay, Angelina says, "What was your top 10 countries, by the way?" Shall I tell you? I will tell you that I did make a jury video up. I've got a bunch of jury members. I have a British Eurovision expert, an Australian composer and musicologist, knows everything about music theory, and I've got someone from Vietnam who is an Asian Eurovision newbie fan, and a young blood, as they say. We make up a jury. We actually have a video. Don't go away from this. Watch it later. Maybe subscribe to my channel to find it later. but we did do an actual official top ranking of all our votes combined. But I'll give you my top 10 in this one. My top 10 was, and I'll get my rankings up to remember. My 10th favorite was Czech Republic. No, it wasn't. Sorry. That was my 11th. My 10th favorite was Greece. And this was prior. My ninth favorite was France. My eighth favorite was. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the. Let's start again. My 10th favorite was Greece. My ninth favorite was Switzerland. My eighth favorite was Romania. My seventh favorite was Malta. My sixth favorite was Belarus. My fifth favorite was Australia, my own country. My fourth, but I actually, after the semi-final, I was like, this is my favorite. I don't know if it was just patriotism, but I really do love the song even more now from the new staging. My fourth favorite was United Kingdom. My third favorite was Armenia. My second favorite was Italy, and my favorite was Sweden. So that was my top 10. Maybe Angelina wants to go away now because, but no, like I said, I'm happy for Angelina's win as a Dutch person. It should be great. Especially you guys haven't won since the 70s, so I'm very happy for you. Quint34577 says, why is it called Eurovision? So I am super curious how Quint actually got on this video, but that's cool. It's called Eurovision because it's a song contest with countries in the European Broadcasting Union and associate members. It was created as a post-World War II thing to bring countries together who were war-torn, and morale was pretty low. And so this was a really perfect way, and it actually achieved it. And it's been going on ever since, 65 years. I'm assuming he's saying, why is it called Eurovision? Because there's countries outside of Europe, myself, an Australian, and you could argue Israel. Some do say that there's Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan aren't Europe, and Turkey when it was, but and you also have Morocco can enter, Tunisia can enter, countries like the United Arab Emirates. I don't know if you knew this, but Kuwait, those countries actually have the opportunity to enter because they're actually part of the European Broadcasting Union. So as long as you're part of that, like for instance, Liechtenstein, they can't be in Eurovision, but they're in Europe. So it's all to do with the European broadcasting members. It is weird. Australia was invited as an associate member, and we kind of just got brought back because we really take part in it and love it and respect it, and we give it the treatment it deserves. Everyone makes fun of, like, imagine if the United States was in Eurovision, they destroy it. You can, at least you've got us, and we follow your rules, and we are respectful. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of why it's called Eurovision. You can invite other associate members. They're thinking of inviting Kazakhstan, who's actually going to become a full European Broadcasting Union member anyway. So yeah. What about Spain? It's been absolutely unfair. You know what? Spain performed last with Do It For Your Lover. Who remembers that? Do it for your lover, do it for your lover, but just do it for your lover. And yeah, they I think a similar thing happened. Uh is it unfair that Spain came 26? Well, you know what? I put them as 26. Literally, I had them as 26. I love Spain. You know what? I just want to say disclosure. I actually liked so many songs this year. So many. I would say this is the best Eurovision we've ever had in terms of quality. And Spain was great. It was a real party song. I can't wait to listen to this all the time. I'm still going to listen to it. The only thing is that the song doesn't elevate. It just goes back to Lavender at the same intensity. There was that, okay, I love that bit. And then you're like, dum, 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 dum. And you're like, what are you going to do? Key change, sing up a belt. And then it was like, Lavender and the same thing. So the staging was wonderful. He is a great performer. He's one of those bouncy performers that go around. And he was really good. I liked it. And you just got to be happy with 26. I think if Spain were in the semi-final, they would have made the final. And I think that, yeah, so that's why I would be like about it. What did they end up coming? Spain came 26. but they were spread a little in the. They weren't 26. Who said they came 26? They came 26 in the jury. Well, that's the reason why I would give the 26th place for the jury. That's how I can justify it. And Ziz said, but I love Hatari, not because they represent my country. They are truly just amazing, and they should have at least got in that top 5. You know what? Iceland was a really bizarre. I don't get on board those novelty things, and yet I did this year. It was a sophisticated song. I got into it more. I have this more appreciation for industrial pop, whatever you call it. It's not pop, industrial music. And yeah, I might even have a listen to some of that genre. And they were playing up to a role. They were also being trolls, so that Palestinian thing may have just added to the trollness of it all, and that was like their pièce de résistance, their like climactic moment. But I think like you said, you laughed so hard when hosts actually realized that that was Palestinian flags. Yeah, they're like, I'm moving on. But yeah, I think there could have been a far worse way of getting a point across in Eurovision, and that was okay. There was also, did anyone see on the Madonna performance, the 2 backing dancers, one had an Israeli flag and the other one had a Palestinian flag? I'm just saying, I was trying to work out if that was allowed or they just spontaneously wore that. We'll have to find that out. Angelina also says, yeah, I mean, I don't really care that much, to be honest, but a lot of people find it extremely disrespectful. I get it, though. You know what? Kate Miller-Heidke visited an Arab city on the kind of border area of Palestinian territories in Israel, and she had a really great learning experience. And I think that's what Eurovision is all about. I'm just going to mute someone that's chatting to me on Messenger, and I'm happy to mute them because they didn't wake up in time to watch Eurovision, so now they're trying to talk to me. And so, yeah, I think having it in Israel, people were like boycott Eurovision because of but I think that you can actually get exposure for things that you're willing to that you have issues with, and I think that was a great thing. And I think, thank goodness, we live in a sorry, not we live. I thank goodness Israel is a very free speech area. But anyway, that's kind of. I'm not going to get too political, but that's what I just want to talk about. And yeah, we didn't win for a long time, but when Verse won, we were second. It's true. We're usually always in the top 10 at least. For those who just joined us, Angelina commenting is actually Dutch, so send her some congratulations. And Angelina says that she is really excited and it was her favorite as well. And Italy was the second favorite. Conchita Wurst won. You were always second, usually always in the top 10 at least. You know what? My favorite Netherlands entry is Ogene. Cry, Norma, feeling all alone and insecure. I wanted that to win. Okay. Or that was my second favorite behind Denmark that year. Actually, it was my third favorite. Denmark was my second favorite, and Albania was my favorite that year. But then Albania didn't make the final. Why is it disrespectful? Oh, I forgot what we were talking about. You actually need to have. Okay, they're having a discussion. So this is saying you actually need to have discussions like this because Israel. Okay, blah 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 blah. That's where I'm going to leave it. But you are happy to chat about that stuff as long as you don't bring up hate speech. Then that is fine by me. Okay, okay. Oh wow. So there is some discussion going on there, which I'm all for. There's been one that's been hidden. Way to go, analytics on that. There, actually, we're going to talk more about Eurovision itself and not about the politics. And I actually have other people messaging as me as well, which I'm going to mute for now and get back to them. These people did not wake up in time, so it's okay. They can be muted as punishment. Angelina said, haha, yeah, OG was decent. Our own country didn't like it that much, actually. Why not? You know, the funny thing is, and you can talk to me about this, Angelina, because I'm assuming you are a full time Eurovision fan like myself. And what I want to know is Netherlands has this trend of bringing folk songs, folk kind of real folk. I'm going to go with folk songs as their entries. And I remember I was like, is Netherlands known for folk music? Like, not really. I didn't think so. And so what's with that? Why is it just someone in the delegation really likes that style of music and has their own agenda? Because you guys pick internally anyway, don't you? Folk like how to say like not country, but you kind of have that kind of sound. Folk is spelled F for foxtrot, OLK. Yeah, see, and that's the shock I get from people. I asked my friend who doesn't really follow Eurovision, but she's from the Netherlands, who lives in Australia now. Well, she's Netherlands, Belgium, and I was like, "Is Dutch into like country music?" And she's like, "No," and I'm like, "Because every entry, like, do you remember the woman playing on the guitar, "You and Me"? Is it? I forget how it goes now, but she was playing the guitar like, do 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 do, and she had like it looked like a Native American headgear. And then um, Come After the Storm, same thing. Even the calm after the storm, and birds flying down the rooftop. Very like indie. Indie is a good word to go for. I feel like a lot of the songs are kind of indie artist sounding. And then Ogene was the only one that I didn't think did that, although they still had a folk sound, but they sounded a lot more R&B. And I was like, oh my God, the first kind of like different genre from Netherlands in a very long time. And then the next year was Everybody's Golly with them. And I'm like, okay, we're back to folksy again. And yeah, so yeah, Angelina saying thought Ojin was pop, and I was like, that's the only genre. That's the only one where I sound like they don't go with the genre that the Netherlands try to do. Um, Yeah, so I find that curious that they have a very similar style of music every year. And this song I also attribute again to a folk pop sound, light rock, folk pop sound. Angelina didn't like that song. Waylon. Um, Fish says, hey, fish soup, fish soup. Interesting. Fish Soup says, what do you think about Sweden? Well, Sweden was my favorite this year. I absolutely loved it from the moment I heard it in Melodifestivalen. I got chills as soon as it was like, is it too late for love? And then the key change, and I was like, this is definitely my favorite from Melodifestivalen. And let's see if it could be my favorite. And it remained my favorite. It was a close tie, though. There was another country that really won me over tonight, um, just even more. And I'll tell you now, it's Italy. Italy performed, and I had it as my second favorite anyway, but they just won me over by how great they were. I was blown away. The annoying thing now following Melodifestivalen is that you know exactly what they're going to do. And so they pretty much did exactly what they did. The backing singers wore different clothes, which I quite liked. I actually think it looked better in Melody Festival because they kind of went from the side stage to the other part. And I think the stage was actually bigger than Eurovision. So that's the only annoying thing. I think next year my advice to Melody Festival and people would be change up your staging completely in Eurovision, even if it's a good staging you have in Melody Festival, because people get over it. Uh, Angelina said, "Did you like Calm After the Storm?" That one got second. The girl was next to Duncan. Oh, really? Was she a backing singer or something this year? Um, what did I think about Calm After the Storm? I actually really didn't like that song either, and that was one that I didn't get the hype over as well. And I'm actually look. I'll tell you my two favorite Netherlands entries recently are Ogene, Lights and Shadows, and Birds by Anouk. I also really liked the one that no one likes, I think, the why, why, you walk alone, baby. I really like that. And actually, I liked the Netherlands in the noughties. I loved Amambamba, 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 when a bamba. I really liked that song. That's probably my favorite. My favorite Netherlands, umbarata, umbarate, and they sang in gibberish. It was so cool. Um, Ellen, hi Ellen. Ellen says Germany and Norway were the best. Okay, Germany sisters, Norway Spirit in the Sky. Well, that's very different sides of the scoreboard there for you. What I think of Germany, actually liked. I noticed when they did the preview part in the semi-final that they didn't have the triangle part of the stage, and that was actually my only thing I liked. I just want to say that I wanted "Where Your Love" by Ali Ryan to represent Germany, and I'm a big fan of Laurel Barker. Laurel Barker wrote the song "Sisters," but it's probably my least favorite Laurel Barker song, probably of the entire of all her entries on the national selection. Oh, I wasn't a big fan of Tempo in Melodifestivalen by Margaret, which she wrote. But out of the three, for sure, anyway, it was my least favorite Laurel song. And I really loved the song Where Your Love by Ali Ryan, but the Germans didn't seem to like it as much as Eurovision fans, because actually I thought that could have done really well this year. And so I think for that reason, I have to try and get over those songs. But I think I was still really strongly connected to that song, and I was like, I don't want to like sisters. They sang really well. They had great chemistry. They had really great chemistry. I actually had a favorite out of the two. I'm pitting them against each other, but I liked the girl with the brown hair, and she had like a orange shirt. And this will lead me to say, while I'm remembering, because the other girl was blonde head with a black shirt. Do not wear all black, people. How many people this year the trend was to wear black shirts? Don't wear black, because black is like, it fades you into the crowd. It's what my friend Elise made a really good point to me. It's what stage crew wear, and they wear it for a reason, because they want to not be seen. They want to blend in. And so you've got this amazing song contest that's like full of glam and you know everything. You put so much money in incredible staging, and then you've just got someone wearing all black, and it's like you're not even going to try with your clothes. So I didn't like that. Not many of the girls wore like the all black. Albania, Germany, but most of the guys wore all black, which I'm really glad Italy wore a different color. But I'll say their chemistry for Germany was good, and I actually ended up liking how they moved into the center part of the song, and they ended kind of in the middle of the crowd. It really gave a really good thing. I think it was just, but like I say, a good song is a good song, so placement shouldn't matter. But I think because that wasn't on people's radar anyway, and it was at the beginning, it just got completely forgotten about. But the jury don't really think of placement, so I don't know why the jury, I gave it 22nd before this, and I wouldn't give it a top 10 still. But we had a juror in my videos give it 7th. So yeah. Norway has been by far the biggest growing song for me. I said Ireland was my second most growing song. Well, definitely Norway was the biggest grower. Once again, you chose two countries that I have hard feelings over because of the national selection. Guess which song I liked in the Norway national selection? Mr. Unicorn. I know. For that, you're allowed to give me hate, okay, guys? Hate comments on my choice of Mr. Unicorn. But I can't get over loving that song and the staging and everything in the studio version. I still listen to it and I love it, and you can party so hard with that song. It was so good. And I wasn't getting Spirit in the Sky. I didn't get why everyone kept voting it into the next round, and then it won. And so for that, I was like, and then I saw the music video and I loved the ears, and I was like, what's with the ears? And they're so serious in the ears. I really wanted them to perform with the ears, and they didn't. So I'm kind of disappointed at that. But she looked great. She's someone that I call like the Kelly Clarkson effect. And what I mean is that Kelly Clarkson is like a chameleon in that she can change her looks all the time. Every day she looks different. Demi Lovato is another one who changes her looks. And that girl, what's the name of the girl? Can someone tell me? In Kino? or Kino. Every time I think of Kino, I think of there's a gambling thing here, and I always think of it. Um, but the girl in that changes her look so much. She like had kind of like a bob hair in the national selection, and then in the music video, she what she have like kind of just there's still short hair, but it was a different look. And then this one, she had like hair extensions down to her hips or something, and really straight hair, and she looked great and really different though. I thought the guy that was like hiya hiya yeah sounded his best tonight. So he actually sounded pretty good compared to the other times where he just sounded bizarre. And so yeah, but Mr. Unicorn was my favorite, so I'm still kind of not giving it a lot of love because I can't get over that. Germany, and also it's a grower, so I've been listening to the song so much that I love it now. Yeah, and so interesting again. Another I had two jury members give that song their second favorite, and I had it as 28th when I made my voting. But like I said, it's been a grower. I probably would have replaced it with Denmark, although I replaced Denmark with Azerbaijan in the semifinal too. So I don't know. But anyway, thanks, Ellen. That was a good comment. Angelina says Germany 0 votes by public was so harsh. It really Germany gets votes. Remember Black Smoke in 2015? I love that song Black Smoke, and they didn't deserve 0 points then either. Um, and the host said it so nicely as well. She's like, I'm really sorry, 0 points. I think it was easier to give 0 points when you just announce like the first country with 0 points is Germany and like that. But when everyone's waiting and she's waiting, you're like, I'm so sorry, 0 points. So she said that really nicely. I wouldn't have wanted to be her in that position, but that's why she gets paid the big bucks. So Angelina said Italy was so good indeed. Loved it so much. The lyrics are really good and emotional, crazy emotional, and that's not what won me over with that song. But I guess it is. I knew that there was despair. I knew that there was angst in that song from hearing it. What won me over was the actual musical composition of that song is so unique, but yet contemporary. Something that Portugal wasn't able to achieve. They weren't able to achieve unique structure and contemporary song. They just did unique structure and kind of bizarro. So yeah. But when you think about it, I don't know if you know, the lyrics are about his dad who left him when he was 2 and comes back only for money and then leaves and then keeps coming back for money. And he said he literally wrote this song for his dad to just never bother him again, like to publicly release this song, and his dad will know that, and people around him will know that his dad just comes for money, and so his dad will just leave him alone if he's not going to give love. And I think it was powerful when you hear it. I actually got really teary at the end, and he looked he looked really emotional. It was a really emotional song. So anyway, so oh my god, yeah, why we hated it so much, we were shamed. Oh, what are you talking about again? Were you talking about Ogene? Why? Oh, why? 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 I didn't like what she was wearing, Angelina. That was didn't she win the Barbara Dex award? Rightfully so, I guess. But I actually liked it. And that's the kind of song I would jam to. It actually reminded me of a song. I'm going to forget it now, but it's by a Canadian singer. Gotta get up, stomp your feet. Nothing is wrong if you move to the beat. I can't remember the name of that artist, but that song, the YYY song, Walk Alone, I think is what it's called, um, reminds me of that song and that singer who is Serena Ryder. Look her up, Stomper by Serena Ryder. That singer and that song actually reminds me of something. It sounds like something Serena Ryder would sing. Okay, so no, she wasn't a backup singer. Duncan sang alone. So why was she there? Just for support? Is she part of the delegation now? Same goes for Duncan, though. The lyrics were very, very emotional, but Italy was really good. Their language is the most beautiful in real life. And yes, I know the lyrics. I'm fluent in Italian too. Wow, Angelina, you're an Italian Dutch? Do you speak? Does anyone in Netherlands speak Flemish? Do you speak any other languages? Is what I'm going to ask. Could you let me know? I'm curious. Um, so you said the lyrics are really emotional. You know what? I just I think I'm heartless with this one. Kind of how the Dutch were heartless with Ogene. I can't get over that, you know. Well, I don't know. You said that the Dutch weren't following it either, but no one liked the jury liked the Ogene, but the televote was not on board with that. I thought that was a lot more powerful. I thought the lyrics to Arcade were so. They didn't give me anything great. The song is about losing someone, you know. And I thought actually Romania did a much better kind of thing about heartbreak and kind of what I hear with these two are is that okay, I guess the difference is I'm a little okay. I'm just gonna I'll say that with the difference with Romania was that she was like, I am heartbroken. You have left me on the floor, and I'm just gonna grab this pint of ice cream and eat it all, and then I'm gonna light a match and burn it and watch it burn, and I'm gonna like blow up your house tomorrow. Okay, that's what I got from Romania. She's like on the edge of destruction. This one, he was like, "Oh, I'm sad," and like that's a normal reaction, isn't it? So I'm sure a lot of people probably like I can relate to that, but he's like just kind of like um, introvertly being sad over his loss, or being in love and being hurt. So yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was I look. The only song I didn't like this year was Portugal. I liked all of them. Then you have to look at what does well critically. What makes it a good actual composition? That's what I look at, especially when I love all of them. I really do. 40, I like 40 of them, and I love about 20 of them. So, yes, anyway. Okay, where am I up to? Um, listening to Mahmood, his album. He has an album. I said in my video, you'll have to watch my later, not now, later. You have to watch. I did a video with a bunch of jury members where we averaged our votes and made a total voting and ranking system. And when I said with the Italy one was that him and Zena, I can't wait to hear an album by them. And so you're telling me Mahmood has an album out and I can hear it already? Guess what I'm doing today? Spotify Mahmood all day. Oh, I hope it's just as cool as that song. And the funny thing was, he looked like he couldn't be phased if he won. They're like, "You're winning." He's like, and then they're like, "You're dropped a second." He's like, like. But I heard he didn't want to. At first, he was wondering whether to do it because he found out that it was like very time consuming. Yeah. So I was listening to Mahmood. Okay, his album all day yesterday, and yes, why? Okay, she was she was wearing a garbage bag. Oh, that's a funny comment. Just in jest, if you're watching. What was her name again? It was like Trickda or something. It was it was a name I couldn't pronounce at first. It was like Trailer or something, I think. Yeah, just for support was really intense for her as well since she got second in 2014. Oh wow, just there for support. That's pretty crazy. Does she sing at any like pre-parties? Maybe she did because I think someone was there from the Moldova people gave support, the Sunstroke Project people. Anyway, let's talk about. I don't know why I'm yawning because it's like really late at night for those who have decided to stay up. I had to wake up at 5 a.m., although I was up since 4 a.m. And probably that's why I am yawning right now. But it's the rest of the day here. It's 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday. On a Sunday. Okay, what are we up to now? Angelina says Flemish is Dutch. Oh, wow. See, I'm learning new things. They got our language, but just a really weird accent. Would you say it's like a dialect? It's like a Creole kind of sound. I don't know. Weird accent and some different words. Okay. Ellen's back and she says, what do you think about Leo Suga, the mentalist? I'm curious, Ellen, we're doing a thing here where we reveal which country we're from. So could you tell me, Ellen, which country you're from? Ellen's The Mentalist was the weirdest thing because it was so staged. It was bizarrely staged. Even if you are into mentalists, you know that that was fake. And so, I mean, you could kind of ham it up to be like, this is fake. Just go along with it and embrace it. But he was like actually trying to make people believe that he was thinking all this stuff. And so it's like, this is not good for your business. And the other singers, clearly they were like, pretend to be stunned. And so some of them were like good actors, like, oh, you saw Sergei Lazarev, he's like, oh. And then Tempter was like, oh my God, like she was really a natural actor. And then Luca Hani was like, well, like he was such a bad actor at it. I'm like, you're not, but it's like your acting skills aren't even going to help this because it was just so the first time when they did the Eurovision thing, like that was ridiculous, but at least there was like something funny to it. But this one, he was like wearing a badge that said ABBA, and we were supposed to be like, "Oh my God," and I was like, I don't really get it. But anyway, weird. I speak. Angelina's saying she speaks Italian because she's half Italian and speaks Dutch, of course, obviously, and German and English. Great. I wish I was such a polyglot. You're so lucky. You're so smart as well. I understand a little bit of French too. French is what I studied in high school. It's the reason why I like Eurovision. When I was, it was 2006 and it was 2006, and my French teacher was like, for homework, there is this thing called Eurovision, and I want you to watch France perform, and I want you for homework to see how much of it you can translate. I was like, probably nothing. And Il était temps by Virginia, someone from France. And I was like, and then I looked at all the others and I was like, what's this? And I grew obsessed with it ever since. So that's that. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith, for doing that. I actually recorded it and brought the videotape in. I recorded on a videotape, but even that it was late then. Okay, let's talk about other stuff. Angelina says that yes, Mahmood has an album. It's so good. Some songs are even better than Saudi. Oh, that's really good to know. I'm definitely gonna listen to it. Bo is here. Hi, Bo. Third year that I vote for Italy. And third year that I'm not shocked. That I am shocked that they did not win. I will say there is a thing, we called it the Italy train, getting on board the Italy is amazing train. Italy does surprisingly well, but hasn't won. But I will say that I don't get on board that train. I quite liked the jazzy song that they debuted in a way. They came back with, which came I think second, and I was like, okay, I won't give a second, but I get why the jury liked it. I think they gave it first, and then I didn't like is it Il Divo, Il Volvo. I didn't like that. I thought they were a copycat of the other classical singers. So I wasn't a fan of that. And then the only one I liked was the one that actually didn't get much ranking, like the one from 2014, was it? On a van, on a van, on a van. I liked that song. It was kind of like power pop. And yeah, I didn't even get on board with the Occidentales, Remember, everyone was like, that's the one that was going to win. And then it came sixth from the jury and the televote. And I was like, there you go. So this was the first year that I was like, wow, Italy. And it's on his own merit. I love this song. Really, I don't look at the country. I look at, like, I guess things that help me with the country is their reputation sometimes. I'll remember that and stuff like that. But if it's a good song, I will love it. I don't care which country it's from. And I was like, Italy, it's you this year. It was my second favorite this year. Thank you, Angelina. Trenti. I know that's not how you say it. I remember I asked my Dutch friend how to say it, and she did help me. It's her name. It literally translates as train in Dutch. It'd be a small train. So why is that her name? Small train. Okay, we've got Assis. Hi, Assis, coming in. He said, oh, he or she, I don't know why I thought it was he. Assis says, yeah, Romania was the best. Go Romania. Romania was my 8th favorite, and it gave me chills. Romania had a really good national selection. Bella Santiago, the Renegade song. I actually didn't like Dear Father, even though that was the one that everyone wanted to win. And this song was my 3rd favorite in the national selection. I was like, if it wins, I'll be happy. It won. I was really happy, and I went along with it, and I really liked it. Music video was great. She was great. I liked her wearing red in the national selection more than her wearing black in Eurovision. That's just my thing. Ellen Grander is back and says, what if I tell you I know him personally? Wait, who are we talking about again? Ellen, who are we talking about again? You are freaking me out. Germany and Norway were the best, but we only talked about Germany and Norway. Oh, The Mentalist. That's right. You know The Mentalist personally? He seems really funny, but I just think, I don't know, the problem is the thing with things like that is they tell them to do things, and they probably hired him to do that. And I'm sure in Israel, they're like, well, usually he's really good and he just hammed it up. But he was clearly not, it was clearly all staged. I just thought that bit was not helpful for his reputation. But he's kind of known now through Europe, so maybe he'll do like shows. Maybe he can do a show where he's like, he's a terrible mentalist. I was kind of hoping that his character was like Miranda Sings, where he's like someone who always like is like so obviously bad at being a mentalist or something. He wasn't acting. I'm from Israel, my friend. Okay. Oh, cool. Hi, Ellen. So he wasn't acting. What I'm asking is, was it staged? I guess, just kind of like acting for a mentalist. I really think that was planned, but anyway. Have you ever been to a Eurovision live? I'm going next year for sure. No, and I'm changing my mind. I am also making a pledge to go next year. I went to the United Kingdom in November, and so I'm kind of like, I don't have the funds all the time at the moment to to go to Eurovision this year. So that's why I didn't go. But I was like, for sure next year. I'm saving everything for next year. Elise and I are going to, we have some plans for Eurovision. I'm just going to say that. So maybe if someone wants to like remember that I said that, and Elise and I are going to, we have plans. So you'll just have to see what we're thinking of. But yeah, stay tuned. And yeah, definitely going next year. I've always had the idea that I wanted to wait for that moment where I had enough money where I can be like, oh, I'll just, money is no option for a week. I can spend as much as I want and have a great week. And I didn't want to go and it ruin my, I get disappointed because I actually have a lot of fun by like doing a house party here with family and stuff. And it's good kind of being in control sometimes. Going to there, I'm worried that it's like, you lose a lot of the the focus on like trying to look at things and stuff, and so I was ready for that. But now I'm in a different mindset where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go. There's no way that Eurovision could be ruined for me, so it's okay. Our sis said, what do you think about the new announcement of the televoting? There's a new announcement already. I think that it was a little bit cruel for the countries which got the least point. What are you talking about, the new announcement? Do you mean the way that they announced the televoting through the jury ranking? You thought it was a little bit cruel? I don't think they were trying to make it cruel. I know a lot of them have a lot of it's definitely an emotional roller coaster, but I think it's suspenseful is the word. I don't think it's cruel. It's funny how shocked John Ludwig John Ludwig was. John Ludwig was my favorite, but I think he was doing so well anyway, but that shock that it was like 90 points Sweden. Was it 90, or I think it might have even been like 53 or something. But Yeah, I didn't find it shocking at all. Um, but also, I think it's super suspenseful that way, and they should keep doing that. I think it's great. Um, yeah, so the ones that got the least points that they made a fuss over, remember they got a lot of points in the jury. So, they can't be too disappointed with that. And they can't be like, well, they can't be like, oh, like they should be glad of what happened because Anyway, our sis said Romanian selection was ruined by the two juries from We Blogs. I think what you're talking about is the fact that 81% of the results were by the jury. That's something that you can't blame We Blogs for, I must say. Um, it's something that you've got to blame the producers of Selectia Nationale. You've also got to wonder why they would choose two people from the same organization. Granted, clearly I watch wee blogs, love them. Actually, Devon, I really have a connection to Devon more than William probably. William and Devon are of very different mindsets usually. So that is okay, but I will say two people out of five, I think it was in the jury from the same organization, and you had one that was like a Eurovision producer. Like you had people that were kind of in the know, and could easily, yeah. I think maybe next time don't do that. 81% jury and televote was also a bit ridiculous. I think it's because last year their entry didn't make the final, and they thought that it was because Romanian televote was like so made such a like bizarre choice that they knew that it wouldn't, their choices aren't very reliable for success in Eurovision. I'm assuming Eurovision wants success in Eurovision, so that was the reason why they did that. I say just let it go. I think the reason why they also did that was that the televote, from what I heard, the televote voting is very low for a national selection in Romania, and so they thought that it didn't really clearly by sending goodbye. It didn't really reflect the views of the Romanian public as much. That's why they did it. I don't know. I'd say don't do that anymore, or think of a way to do it. Have like do what they do in Germany and have like 1/3 Eurovision, 100 Eurovision fans, 1/3 the jury, 1/3 televote, or something like that. And maybe not do two people from the same organization again. That would be my thing. Romanians, we did that. Angelina said it did seem very fake, but that's fine. I can't even remember what we're talking about now, Angelina. It did seem very fake, but that's fine. If you could remind me. Oh, the mentalist. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Angelina says, was this the most watched Eurovision? 200 million live views. Or has there been more? I don't think we'll be able to tell now for another 2 days, a day or two anyway, what the exact ratings figures were like. They said that semifinal one was the third most watched semifinal in United Kingdom history this year. So that's cool. If that reflected with the rest of the world, that'd be really cool. Okay, so I've got Ellen saying I should be more open-minded to the mentalist thing. It just seemed really. It seemed. Can you, if you're a friend, could you verify that? Could we get a hashtag exclusive on this channel? The mentalist friend says that it was not staged. Yeah. Charlie Thompson says United Kingdom got beep. They really did. They truly did. And are we shocked? No, it's what they do. It's what people think of United Kingdom. You would think that we kind of get over it because, as I said, successful countries for a span of time suddenly become not hot anymore. Remember in the noughties, Romania, Greece, Iceland, they were the countries that were consistently at the top. What other Serbia, you know, they were the countries you would always see top. Like the top five would be Greece, Armenia, for sure. And now that none of those countries are doing that great anymore, they don't have the reputation. At that same time, in 2010, Sweden didn't make the final. Can you imagine a world where Sweden doesn't make the final? Then Sweden became, I would say, very popular, very, very popular. Italy came in and became very popular. Now we are seeing that the jury still like Sweden, but the televote are now over Sweden, and they're kind of, I think they don't like how manufactured Sweden's become, is really what I'm thinking. And so now Sweden is out with the trash. Um, and United Kingdom still stays like no one cares about you. And so, yeah, UK, I think there's a lot to look at. I think UK actually picked a really good song this year, and they actually came to compete. Staging was terrible. I would really like to meet the UK delegation. I really, really would. I'd just like to meet them, have a meeting, um, and talk about my vision for the UK. I would, if you want to offer me a job, I'll false flag and I'll very, very happily leave Australia and work for the United Kingdom delegation and try to make um, Eurovision great again for the UK. I think I could do it. So, what are we up to now? We're talking about. Angelina says, thanks for the chat, Angelina. You've great contribution. Yes, you should come to the Netherlands. Oh, yeah, I guess if I'm going next year, I didn't think about that. Let's think, where will it be in the Netherlands? Rotterdam? The Hague? Where could it be? Where are your thoughts? Is it true? I heard a rumor that they had already pre-booked an arena because they were that confident they were going to win. I know, okay, it's an amazing country and everyone here is way more excited and social than anywhere else. Well, that's good. I know Germany is really into Eurovision. I have never been to the Netherlands. In Europe, I've been to United Kingdom. I've been to France. I've been to Italy. I've been to Slovenia. I've been to Austria. I've kind of seen the border of Switzerland. And Iceland, and that is it. End of list for me. So I would love to go to a lot more places in Europe. Um, so I guess if I'm going next year, I really am going to the Netherlands. Interesting. Okay. I know that because I've been almost everywhere in the world. Really, Angelina? Angelina, why have you been almost everywhere in the world, if you don't mind me asking? But it's great to see a worldly person where you'll see a lot of my videos for the rest of the year are just travel videos, so you may enjoy that. We're just very social and best English speaking country apart from the native English ones, of course. I will be at the Eurovision too. Okay, shout out to my friend from the Netherlands, Cleo, who I said is kind of part Netherlands, part Belgium. And I think she actually spent a little bit of time living in Greece at one point, and she moved to Australia when she was 13. And she moved here and her English was incredible. People were like, "Oh, are you American?" And everyone thought she was American at first. And then I was like, "No, she's Dutch and she speaks fluent English." Like she spoke better than a lot of Australians. And we're native speakers. So yeah. Charlie, hi Charlie. We deserved to get top 10. You did. I voted United Kingdom. They weren't my favorite. They were my third favorite after Armenia left. They went from fourth to third. And I do a thing. I said this earlier, but when I text my votes, I actually try to become like a jury member. And instead of giving all my 20 points to one country, I know a lot of people don't like this process, but I actually give 2 points to no, sorry, 3 points to my fourth favorite, 4 points to my third favorite, 5 points to my second favorite, and 10 points to my favorite. And so I gave 4 points to the United Kingdom this year. Is that how I did it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I must have done 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, 10 points. So I gave 3 points to United Kingdom. And we actually voted, we gave the United Kingdom, I think we gave United Kingdom, forget how we voted now. I think we gave them 8 points in the televote. We gave them 7 or something. So we actually gave them a huge chunk of your points, Australia. You should keep us in. Well, we're going to be in now. So we don't have to fight to be in it. We're in it for 5 more years at least. Here's a question I'm going to ask you as well. I'd love for people to comment what they think of this. But we're talking about that there's going to be Eurovision Asia Pacific, and it's been on and off again with the actual start date. There's talk it's going to be in December this year, like a few weeks after Junior Eurovision. It's perfect timing. But it's going to be in the Gold Coast, the first one in Australia. Would you be eager to watch Asia Pacific version of Eurovision? Do you think you can cross over? So Angelina says, sadly, the jury voting is very corrupt. You know what? I don't think so. I think the jury voting was made for a lot of reasons, and a big reason was to actually fight block voting. Juries still do vote block voting. Many juries. We saw Greece give 12 points to Cyprus. Cyprus gave 12 points to Greece. Montenegro gave 12 points to Serbia. But I don't think a country has ever won on block voting, because otherwise we would have the same country winning every year. And thank goodness that isn't the case. We have such a diverse countries who win. And so if you are good, block voting can for sure help. But I think that's what happened with Ukraine in 2016. But it won't get you like from nowhere to winner. So the jury corruption, how else would you think? Well, I understand. I think it's more about who you know and stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean like okay, let's say for instance the Australian jury were invited. The same people took part in the jury for Melody Festival this year and gave their 12 points to Too Late for Love. And then they came back. They took part in the national selection. They know Sweden really well. They had a closeness to Sweden, and so it's no shock. I actually could have put money that Australia was going to give 12 points to Sweden. What I am shocked is that we love Sweden a lot. I don't know if you saw Australia decides our national selection. We were like, let's make a mini Melody Festival in one night. But they looked at Melody Festival and emulated it, and they're like, this is our dream. Like that's what we do. We hired like the people, like the stage director from Melody Festival. Did we? Or no, it was I think it was Danish. But anyway, we hired Swedish people and advisors. We had a Swedish producer from Melody Festival in one year who was the jury in our national selection for Australia. So stuff like that helps you be like, okay, well, I had a tie with Australia, so I'm going to vote Australia out of points. Interestingly enough, we had the worst result from Sweden in the jury this year with only 6 points. It was still a lot of points, so I'm happy. But last year the jury gave us 10 points, and or 8. I think they gave us 8 or 10, and then the other years they've given us. They gave us 10 as well for Isaiah. They gave Dami in 12 and Guy Sebastian 12. So this is the worst result we've got from Sweden. We gave Sweden 12 points, so we didn't get a good enough return for that. But yeah, that's helpful a lot. But other countries like Denmark have really liked us. They used to give us a lot of points, and then this year they gave us no points. So yeah, but it is an interesting thing. It's interesting to know who the jury members are. I don't know if people but all that's illegal anyway, so you wouldn't risk it. But it's the jury can do their research. I'm sure jury members, we look at like all these vloggers, you go, well, what impact do you really have? You know, they say like you guys watching right now, and myself and vloggers like we blogs and all that, we make up 0.2% of the voters. So we don't have that. We can't change the outcome. Even if people really listened and believed, like really took on what we said, and or I decided to make some kind of cult where everyone voted their country. But it I'm sure the jury watch, and my aim is I said on my channel, like, your jury member is watching this. I don't know if they are, but I give reviews in a critical way that the juries find interesting. I know I had someone comment and say, like, you're reviewing a song, not a mobile phone, right? And I'm like, I'm giving in a critical way, and I'm hoping a juror is watching and kind of thinking of the notes I'm saying. So that's my aim in doing these videos sometimes. Charlie, we deserve to get top 10. You did. I already said that. Charlie Thompson said something. I'll just review it. Yeah, I'm gonna show that. It came up as a review, but I think it's okay to put. You're a little aggressive, Charlie. My advice, because all your comments are getting asked to be reviewed, so just notice that. I'll go back up to what you're talking about. You said that all the countries vote for the neighboring countries. I disagree. I don't think all the countries vote for the neighboring countries. Once again, if the same countries voted for the same countries every year, guess what would happen? We would get the same results every year, and we don't. Um, by the way, we'll talk about North Macedonia. Someone talk about it because you'll remind me. Um, um, like Cyprus and Greece. A few years ago, I don't think Greece gave Cyprus 12 points. I'm pretty sure. I think they gave them 10. But it's true. It's true. Everyone waits for it. Everyone's comical. Don't boo at Eurovision though, guys. Hashtag exclusive. Hashtag exclusive. Is that your exclusive telling me that neighboring countries vote for each other? Um, that's because I said we could get an exclusive off Ellen. Ellen's gone though. So maybe her silence means that he was faking it with um, the mentalist thing. But the jury voting has always been like that, always corrupt. So we're used to it. Public voting is most important, to be honest. I disagree with that, Angelina. I don't think the jury voting is corrupt. Jury have a really interesting mindset of looking at it from a critical point. Kind of like, how you read a book and you probably have certain ways of analyzing a book. You don't just read it like you might read a book and be like, this is trash. And the reason is because you went to school and you probably did a language class where you had to analyze text. And that's for a lot of industry people, whether you've had a formal education or trade experience, you know what you need to do. You actually get trained, especially as a singer. You do the lessons, you know what to do, you know what kind of musical choices to be made. And so you can have a look at other entries and be like, okay, like, I've been examined before, I know how to examine for other people. And that's what they look out for. They look out for what are the features that would give you like 100% in an exam at a university or something, is kind of what they do. But on the other side, they also know, like, songs need to be like, why did they give Sweden the winning song? Because it was really sophisticated, it was written really well. They know things. Okay, I'll say they think of things that televotes don't think of. Like, did you know the guy who wrote that song is a really famous songwriter? He actually wrote Fuego last year. He co-wrote it, and he also has written songs for K-pop, really, really, really popular songs like "You" by Super Junior. If anyone knows K-pop, comment below. But yeah, that for a juror is like, whoa, we're in like the presence of someone who knows how to write songs. Um, Additionally, they know that that is a radio-friendly song. So you've got a sophisticated radio song. Wow, tick, 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 tick. They like those kind of things. It's also got things like vocal range. It has things like a key change. It has things like elevation. These are things that someone at home would be like, I didn't even think of any of that. I just like it. Or he looks good, or things like that. To say that the televote are like that. Like I'm giving a general vibe, but people know when a song is good as well from just natural ears. And that's the great thing with music is that it gives you that feeling, and you might not even be able to describe it, which is why a vote is a good thing. Uh, but I think the jury do that, and I think also a lot of juries' aims are to not have runaway winners. Maybe the jury kind of subconsciously know that the EBU are hiring a jury to be like, let's give us some suspenseful mix. We went through years of, 12 points go to Euphoria, 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 Euphoria. If you haven't worked out, Euphoria has already won, but we've still got 18 countries to go through. And so everyone turns off. And so they know that their aim is to bring diversity. They probably voted North Macedonia because they knew that that would be one that the televote would not think of. And so they wanted to make sure that they were at least recognized for their wonderful and sophisticated music and their timely message and relevance. And she tried extra hard, and I'll talk about North Macedonia when the comment in a little while. Um, but yeah, so they're the kind of things. That's the difference between jury and televote, and I'm glad we have both in it. There's a video on YouTube. I might put in the comments or something, but it shows the top 20 swing votes, and try to look at it and try to tell me why you think the jury vote that song more and why the televote voted a song like, let's say, um, the song from Turkey in 2012. Da na na, love me back and da na 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 na, or yodel it, yole ole ole ole. Like, why would the televote like yodel it more than the jury? And that leads me to analyze why Australia came ninth, and I'll talk about that as well. Um, okay, so Charlie Thompson says, "Not gonna lie, why are Australian Eurovision for?" Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit of things. All right, so we have a thing, Asia Pacific Eurovision, that we own the rights to now, where some of us, like myself, cannot wait for it, but they keep putting it off. It was supposed to be in 2018. I actually talked to a lot of Australian Eurovision fans, and they say hopefully now this means we don't have to do Asia Pacific and we can stay in Eurovision. And I'm like, you know what? I'd be glad if they were like, okay, I think they joined Eurovision to get that experience, the production company to be like, okay, so this is how it all works. We can go in and do Asia Pacific. And know exactly the ins and outs of Eurovision. And then once they started Asia Pacific, they were going to be like, okay, bye, like we're done. And so that's what they were going to do. And I always expected that we were only going to be in for a few years, leave and do Asia Pacific. But a lot of people now don't want Asia Pacific and they want to just stay in Eurovision. Additionally, EBU like us anyway because we are the people who are fans in Australia are diehard fans. If you were to say, let's bring Eurovision to let's bring the United States to Eurovision, they have a lot of fans. But if you look at the fans, like, this is absolutely no hate to any of the vloggers, because I actually love watching different vloggers who give different kind of takes on things. For sure, I recommend you pick your favorite vloggers. There was a channel called Overthinking It. They didn't do it this year, but I know they are diehard fans. And Jake's Face Reacts. And they like Eurovision, but they still give such a different take. They kind of have this American cultural take on every song that I think kind of rubs a lot of European fans the wrong way around. There is a channel called Maxi. I can't remember. ESC Maxi. And a lot of time, it's reacted by someone in drag, and I actually think that he's from Pittsburgh, I think, and he's adapted a very much like Eurovision mindset. And I mean, you've got William, who is originally American and has definitely got that mindset. So, but in Australia, we have that mindset. We don't actually look at it from an Australian point of view and try to Australianize it. We go, okay, well, this is the culture and let's dive into it. And we embrace that. So I think that's why EBU really like us, and they want they think that us being in it only helps grow the contest as well. It's an extra entry for them. So we are in it for 5 more years. I was shocked at that, which worries me about the future of Asia Pacific. So anyway, Charlie Thompson is now saying boycott Eurovision. He's chatted so much about the results. Don't boycott Eurovision. I love Eurovision so much. I could never boycott it. Angelina says it's either in Rotterdam or Amsterdam. Yeah, okay, cool. I love both places. I said Amsterdam could do it anywhere and it'll be great. That's one thing I know. Netherlands will do a great show of Eurovision. I have no doubt. It's going to be a really good one. And they do Amsterdam in concert, and they're the leading pre-concert um, city every year. I guess they won't be doing it next year because they didn't do Tel Aviv calling this year. So I don't know. We'll see. Most likely in Amsterdam, Ziggo Dome is what the arena is called. Is that where the Amsterdam show was this year? If not Amsterdam, then Rotterdam Ahoy. Okay, how do you know the capacity of Rotterdam Ahoy? Like, is it 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 20,000 people? What do you think about Turkey in Eurovision? Well, they're not in it, so that's what I think of it. What do I think about Turkey in Eurovision? I would love for them to be in it again, as long as they don't say things like the fact that they're out of it because of Conchita Verse when they actually left 2 years before Conchita Verse. So I don't know how that works. Unless they had a time machine, went into the future, went back to 2012 and said, F this, and left. Turkey, I love them in Eurovision. They claim it's because of the fact that they had a drag queen in it, even though they had a trans person, Dana International from Israel, win, and they entered the next year as well willingly. So actually, the reason is we all know why. It's because they're not a fan of the jury. They think that Turkey does really well on the televote, and then the jury just bring them back down. They kind of push them down, and that they can never win with the jury. What the actual thing of is that their songs are not bringing qualities that the jury like, and they are refusing to make songs to adhere to a combination of satisfying the jury and the televote, which can be done. That is the way to a very successful competition, is when you have the jury's hearts and the televotes. You can, and that's what everyone try. That's what most countries attempt to do. But they were making too many novelty songs. They won it, they won in 2003, and then they just decided that they weren't getting that level of success that they used to get, and that they couldn't win, and they didn't want to put the money into it anymore. They now have their own, like, they try to do a thing, I'm pretty sure, don't they? They have their own thing that they're trying to do, which is obviously a lot more smaller size of a contest. But yeah, thanks me, XOXO. But I'd love to see them back, but I'd like to see them back and not whinge about the jury. Because you know what you got to do. Okay, so Assis is back again and says, oh wait, I've gone back. Thank you for all these comments. I'm loving the comments. Angelina says, I hope Rotterdam, because I love Rotterdam and live close to it. Oh, okay, cool, and was born there, etc. Rotterdam hates Amsterdam, and Amsterdam hates Rotterdam. I think you get that a lot of places. I live in Australia. I live in Sydney. Sydney hates Melbourne. Melbourne hates Sydney. But actually, Melbourne hates Sydney a lot more. Sydney don't think much about the Melbourne rivalry, but Melbourne still, I think, passionate against Sydney, especially when you go to a soccer game. They get very aggressive against Sydney and Melbourne teams. So sorry. So and because I love traveling, is why you travel a lot. That's great. I love traveling. I'm only 17, actually. Okay, but already in uni, and traveling is just amazing to me. That's super cool that you get to do that. You said you traveled the world. Have you been to like Asia? Have you been to Australia? Or does travel the world mean like just travel to Europe? I don't know. Or I think you said you've traveled all over the place or you've traveled everywhere. My accent is weird, to be honest. It's American mixed with British mixed with Dutch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like my friend Cleo. Although she's not as much British, she just sounds kind of American. I think people thought she was Canadian, actually. Does anyone have Snapchat on this? Snapchat, Charlie's hated Eurovision, wants us to boycott it, now wants people Snapchat. Okay. Um, of course I would. Okay, Assis, I'm trying to remember what we're talking about. Of course I would watch that. I'm watching Australian football, so why not the song contest? Oh, okay, he would watch Asia Pacific. Okay, cool. I don't know why I keep thinking Assis is saying that. Assis, can you tell me if you're a man or a woman? Because for some reason I am assuming your gender is a male for some reason. I don't know why. There's no picture. I'm thinking Assis sounds like a masculine name for some reason. So I'm sorry. Angelina, do you have Instagram or Snapchat? Wow. Charlie Thompson is really trying to be a gigolo on this. Um, Angelina, don't feel pressured to give Charlie Thompson your social media stuff. Me, old K-pop is so good. Now we have just American Korean music. Now I want to know what you mean by old K-pop because my favorite K-pop is 2000 and okay. Well, I like anything really, but I really liked 2010 to 2011. But I really got into K-pop 2012 to 2014 is my perfect era of K-pop music. So tell me what you mean by old K-pop music. Sis says on the Wee Wee Blogs juries and the Romanian selection, the problem was that them changed their mind because, but you don't know that. People are saying that, but did they ever come out and say this is the reason why we voted Laura, or was it just because they didn't like her performance as much? You can't actually assume that the reason why is because they did that. They never said that ever. Unless they did, could you give me the link to that? Because I didn't get that memo that they were giving like a protest vote. They didn't do it, and you can't assume that really. I really think so. I think Laura was apparently the favorite. I followed the national selection without knowing the hype of that, and Laura was my fifth favorite. That song to your father. I had no knowledge of all the behind the scenes stuff. I did it because I liked the song fifth out of eight in the final, I think. My top three were On a Sunday, um, Fight, what is it, Army of Love by Bella Santiago. I would have loved for that to win though. And Renegades was my number one. We are the Renegades. And she followed me, Lydia followed me on Instagram, which is really cool. So, Angelina says, yeah, burn Angelina, the sass. Yeah, I've got Snapchat, Charlie Thompson, but I'm not giving it away. Sorry. Lol. Charlie is hustling for contacts. Um, and he asked Angelina. Oh, that's so funny. Angelina can stand her own. Angelina says Amsterdam Ziggo Dome about 17,000 people. Rotterdam Ahoy has 16,500. Okay, well both are really good venues for Eurovision. It's perfect. We have a lot of big football arenas as well, but I doubt that. The thing is, I think a lot of football arenas don't have roofs, right? That was the problem in Israel. They had football arenas as options for venues, but um, they had to put a roof on the arena. So and that's just crazy expensive, and no one will decide to do that really. Um, but you've got enough venues anyway. Sis says, "What do you think about our entry this year, Lake Malawi?" Oh, you're from the Czech Republic. I just assumed you're from Romania because you're talking about Romania. Did you like it? I really liked it. It was funky. It was fun. Only problem for me, and this is someone with a jury kind of perspective. I should be a juror one year. I should talk to the Australian people. Get me on the Australian jury. Who thinks I'd be a good jury member? Angelina's like, you didn't vote for Netherlands, so maybe no. What I think of Czech Republic, Really funky song. Loved it. It was one of the ones that was the hookiest to me immediately. I was actually doing a thing where I was like, challenge who can spin around the longest listening to the chorus without getting dizzy. Only a friend. I liked all that. She was my neighbor. The only thing was live, they brought the key down immensely. So what I really liked, and this is a very critical review, but in the performance of Friend of a Friend, in the studio, when they go like they sing the chorus, it's actually head voice, like the highest part of your voice. So it's like, I'm only a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And he does it really well in the studio version. Performing live, the key was brought down so low that he was just belting it. It went from a funk song to a rock song, like a light rock song, soft rock. So then he was like, friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. I was like, okay, this is not so like the things that I loved, the qualities I loved about that entry are no longer there now. Wow, I've been talking for an hour and a half. Thank you so much for the comments from everyone. It's great. Charlie wants to know why he can't get up in her DMs for Angelina. Okay, interesting. Angelina says she's been to New Zealand as well. Not Australia yet, but I want to go there. Well done for getting to New Zealand. We always respect someone coming down this far. Anyway, not Australia yet, but I want to go there. I understand New Zealand's probably more attainable to go to for a trip. Australia is so big, you're like, where to start and how long, and I only have a week or whatever. Yeah, come over. I live in Sydney, so people go to Sydney, Melbourne. A lot of people go up to tropical northern Queensland, and they go to Uluru in the northern part. Yeah, everywhere's kind of cool. Tasmania, Perth. Everywhere except Adelaide is really cool. So just avoid Adelaide, people, okay? I'm joking. I'm joking. I've Angelina said been to America to Canada. Wow. Okay, cool. I have been to America. My brother actually lives in America. Yeah, so America's cool as well. Assis says male. So you don't mind. I was calling you a he. So I'm glad at least you said that you are a male. Sorry, you probably didn't have to answer that either. I don't know why I'm being so why I'm why I'm proning into Assis's gender so much. But anyway, Angelina says I'm into well burn there, Charlie. So yeah. Yeah, we could make a roof, to be honest. Then there would be 60,000 people. Imagine a Eurovision with. Oh, imagine a Eurovision with 60,000 people. In Stockholm, they had 20,000 people, and it was cool. It was huge. Do you think? Okay, let's be fair, Angelina. Do you think that they would get 60,000 people into an arena in the Netherlands for Eurovision? You think they could fill those seats up? At least the tickets would be cheaper. They would definitely, yes. Did you just send that about the fitting 60,000 people? Or they would yes put a roof on. They'd be happy to. Maybe some arenas don't have a roof. Maybe some arenas have like a roof to put over already. Not all though. Okay, I think I'm now up to. I've gone through the comments. Angelina thinks definitely 60,000 can be attainable, and they'll fill it. Ashley said, "Thank you so much for your stream. It was fun. I hope you will do another one soon." But it's 3:15 a.m. in the Czech Republic, so gonna go. You know what? I don't blame you. It's 11 a.m. here, so can everyone just tell me to stop talking when they're ready to go? I might get tired soon. So, thanks for people watching. I guess you have a lot of energy, but Yeah, also, I say with Czech Republic, shout out to Czech Republic doing really well in the fact that this was, I don't know where they came. I can't remember now, but they did super well on the televote. Their best televote of all time, right? They came 11th. What did they come last year? I have a feeling they came 10th last year or ninth. Because I was gonna say, I know that the televote, it was definitely their best. Not the televote, jury. The jury, it was definitely their best place from a jury. I'm just looking at what Czech Republic came. She is never home, but she plays in the band. I don't think you. I actually know all the words to that song as well. Oh, and I will say about Czech Republic, they did like a new version of the music video because I was looking at the music video as dancing in an apartment, and then they made a whole music video up, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good again. I love it even more. And they even added like "She's Only a Friend." I love that bit, and he adds like a melody to the "She was my neighbor when we were 13. She moved back in. There's not much between us now, if you know what I mean." Czech Republic came sixth. Okay, well, it wasn't their best result, but I think Czech Republic did better in the jury this year than he did last year. Am I right? Third in the televotes, or fourth. I think they came fourth in the televotes. Italy came third in the televotes last year, and but I think they did really well on the jury this year, much better than because last year they were like, man. Anyway, if you got to go to sleep, go to sleep. So I'll say thanks so much for watching. Assis 1. Is Assist 1 and Assist the same people on two accounts? I've just worked out they're two different people. Okay, so I'll just talk about North Macedonia and the shock there. So Assist is definitely, we got 12, Czech Republic got 12 points from the juries this year. Yeah, I was looking at that on the scoreboard during the juries, and I'm like, well, Czech Republic has to be really impressed with it. Did you see when they announced the televote and they're like, oh, I don't know if they were just hamming that up or they were like seriously disappointed. But like, look at the jury vote. Like, it is different from last year. Angelina says, "My whole country thought." Oh, I thought you were going to say Madonna was the worst. North Macedonia. Well, was that because you saw competition at the end? Um, let's talk about North Macedonia and the jury voting it so high came second, right? Um, and the reason why was it's not a shock to me, but I mean it wasn't on my top radar either. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I get it. I was watching it with my family, and I was saying while she was performing, oh my god, where did this come from? The semifinal two, she did not give this much emotion. She was kind of she was fine. She was just normal in semifinal two. I actually wanted to see more strength and emotion from her, and vocal strength in semifinal two. I remember I was like, oh, she's singing it regular, and then this time she looked like she was crying from the beginning, but she had incredible like she had openness and space, and she would end it like she was really really forward singing, and she was resonating. Um, and I was like, where did this come from? And so I'm assuming she gave the same amount of energy, if not maybe more, in the jury last night. And that is why they recognize. It's funny we say people saying that the jury's corrupt, but I find it interesting. I've never seen the televote change their voting on the day. You know what I mean? Like, you hear the hype, you know the only recent thing is that they changed a little bit. Like last year, Fuego came in at the last week, and people started to get on board with voting for Cyprus. And the year before, Portugal kind of overtook Italy, but that was still from rehearsal. Like, I've never seen anyone change. I've never seen the televote change dramatically on the night of the final, you know. And the jury are happy to do that. The jury kind of go in with a, I don't have, do I? No, the jury come here. The jury come in with a clean piece of paper, and they start from fresh, from zero, and they don't think of the hype. They're like, we wash out the hype, and we go with exactly how they deliver on the night. And I think that's a great way to look at it. I wish televotes would take that page. Here's an interesting question. Would you, it would be very helpful for me, but back in the day when it was just jury voting, like that's so back before the 90s, I don't know how long when they changed it, but back in the day, they actually didn't release songs until the night. So kind of like how Melody Festival and semifinals do. They kind of just perform the song on the night, and you hear it for the first time, and then they vote, the juries. Now we have all this promotional stuff, and we have the songs out months ahead, and there's campaigning and everything like that. But maybe one year I would vouch for it. It wouldn't be very helpful for me because I do a lot of reviews leading up to it, and people watch my reviews mostly before Eurovision. I get a little bit of views like now, but then like in July, no one's going to be watching my reviews on the videos. But what would you think about that? Angelina has to go. But what would you think about watching Eurovision for the first time on the night, never hearing the songs? Because then your friends can't, um, kind of influence your vote. You can't go online and see who was atop of the betting. I think that would be kind of cool. But the jury kind of go in with that fresh mind a lot of times. So North Macedonia actually earned that position on the night. Even semi-final two, I don't think. I can't wait to see the results of semi-final two because I don't think she won semi-final two. I'll have to think of something to do if she won semi-final two because I really don't think so. Oh, Angelina, good job. I only heard the songs yesterday. You only heard Italy and Netherlands since yesterday. Oh wow, I thought maybe you'd had heard them and only heard the new ones since yesterday. Mm. Assis says, stop following the bookies. Don't look at the betting because who are betting? They're not jury members. The betting are people who, with anything, people bet on, they think is an educated guess. And so they think that the best way to make a guess is by looking at who bets. But Australia was second in the betting and we came ninth. So these are people that don't put into consideration things like how the jury vote, and things like that. People that gamble for seeing who wins. They don't know enough, and I think that's the thing. I think Italy was first for 2017. Russia was first in the betting 2016. By the way, where did Russia come? And if you have to go and sleep, Angelina, thanks so much for your contribution tonight, this morning for me. It was great chatting to you. Let's have a look at where Russia came. This is 2018 though, because I was looking at Czech Republic. Friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Can you hear it? Someone behind the world is making the same sound. Okay. I'm just scrolling up. I'm trying to find where Russia came, and then I'll talk about Australia a bit more. Russia came. Oh wow! I didn't even realize Russia came third. And we'll talk a little bit about Norway as well. But Russia came third. But they don't have the juries published here. I have a website that was showing me the juries. Sorry. Where did Russia come in the jury? Because I remember they got a lot of points from the televote. Hang on, I'm going to change this. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. They came ninth in the jury. So the jury actually gave You Are the Only One fifth. So they actually preferred You Are the Only One. I also preferred You Are the Only One. Interesting. So yeah. Um, who is your favorite tonight? You know who impressed me the absolute most? Italy. Italy was my second favorite already, but there was a crazy amount of conviction. He looked like he was staring through the lens right at his father, and I got teary. And I'll say in all these performances, I actually gave Azerbaijan the most impressive thing that won me over, because Azerbaijan, I actually originally really liked them, and then I had to put them really down in my ranking because I realized the song is super hooky and not in a great way. It's so repetitive, and it never elevates. Similar to, I put Azerbaijan and Spain in very similar ways musically. Just kind of repeat, repeat. Also, my friend Elise made a really good point and you can check out her review on this channel. She was saying Azerbaijan, the lyrics are a little too negative for Eurovision. You know, obviously not as negative as Iceland, but that was a bit hamming it up and a bit of an act. But Azerbaijan saying shut up," like it was saying shut up about being a hater and stuff, isn't it? It's like telling your haters to shut up and leave. But she didn't think it was a very great message to have in like a song contest. Um, and I kind of see her point there. That wasn't a huge thing for me though. I liked the "shut up about it" hook. But the fact that they sang that, like I think I counted, they sing it like 12 times in one chorus or something. Um, no, it was like 8 times, I think. But it was a lot of times you hear that. And it doesn't elevate. On the night, he sang a high note in the end. And I was like, what I want to hear, people. That's what I want to hear. And so I thought that was really good. And he impressed me a lot. Um, Yeah. You spoiled the result. Well, my friend, actually, a few of my friends, I think I was watching on TV and I think weirdly, sorry, I keep yawning. Um, a few of my friends are watching online on the live feed and I was like 20 seconds ahead of them. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything until you say it. So I tried to avoid spoiling. Um, You live in Czech Republic, Assis, and you spoiled the results. Well, why weren't people watching? You can't if people don't watch, you can't help but spoil, you know. In Australia, I'll give you an interesting story because I've been a fan way before we were even in Eurovision. And we used to have Eurovision on, so okay, in Europe it's on Tuesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night, right? Which for us now, we have it on Wednesday morning, Friday morning, Sunday morning live. We used to have it not live, and it used to be shown Friday nights, semi-final one, Friday night, semi-final two, Saturday night, and the grand final Sunday night. And so I used to lock down everything. I used to not go on the internet. I wouldn't even watch much TV, especially in the final, in the grand final. The day of the final on Sunday, I never turned the television on. I never turned the internet on. And when Facebook came on, I was like, when it started being a thing, I didn't check any Facebook. I didn't look at my phone. I didn't even chat to people. I think I just like walked around and stuff for the day, avoiding any kind of contact until that Sunday night, because I don't want to, I want to know from, like, I want to be shocked, you know? And most of the times I did it, I remember I was on my way to watch Eurovision with my auntie in 2014, and I remember getting on the bus and seeing, and I just happened to turn my phone on, and a notification came up on my phone, like a news notification, saying that Conchita won, and I was so annoyed, I was so angry. But that was the only time I think it got spoiled properly for me. I think every other time I didn't know the results. So yeah, Charlie Thompson is back after trying to get Angelina's Snapchat. I'm sorry to say this, but Australia's song was bad. Well, I love that everyone has an opinion. You can tell me why you think they were bad. Assist, I spoiled the result because I had told them the odds before. Oh, okay, that way. Well, that's not necessarily spoiling. You were telling the odds. I think what you're saying is that you maybe conditioned them. That's why I don't like looking at the betting odds, because people start to get conditioned, but they're the wrong kind of people to condition. You're better to actually get conditioned by jury members and stuff like that. But anyway, um, but I understand. They might as sorry. I'm not bored at you guys. It's that I'm just tired. Charlie said they might as well add the whole of the world. Well, they're trying to get Asia Pacific. Maybe they could do an America's version, a Pan African version. Anyway, there's ideas there. If anyone wants to talk to me, I have ideas. Um, she dressed up like the girl from Frozen. My friend Lamb, who does videos on my channel, the Asian Australian newbie fan, Asian Eurovision newbie fan from Vietnam, said that the dancers look like Dementors and she looked like Elsa. So he thought that she looked like Elsa as well. He didn't think it was a bad thing. He just thought she looked like Elsa. So you're not the first to say that. I think a lot of people definitely think she looks like the girl from Frozen. Yeah. So yeah. I don't think we talked much about Australia. I did want to say I wanted to analyze why we got where we got. We got sixth place in the jury. That is our third best out of 5 years from the jury. We won the jury in 2016. Actually, I don't know what we came in the jury in 2015, so we could possibly be our fourth. But anyway, we came fifth in 2015. We came second in 2016 with a jury win. We came we came ninth in 2017 with a fourth place in the jury. And last year we came 20th with a 12th place in the jury. So this year we came ninth with a sixth place in the jury. You can't be too mad about that. Top 10 is a great result. It's the same as Isaiah Firebrace, and I don't know. I think we deserve a little bit better than Don't Come Easy. But what did the jury not like? Because I was getting so much buzz that I was like, I hadn't heard this much buzz about Australia since Dami Im, and we all know what happened. So I was kind of prepping myself. Watching her tonight, I thought that she sounded a little more apprehensive than semi-final one. I think semi-final one should have been the final performance. I think she had no worries. I think she was still like, okay, semi-final one. I think stuff blew up for her so much that she got some kind of adrenaline / nerves in her, and she didn't. She vocally gave just enough for me, and I think it was still absolutely wonderful. But she didn't give like she blew me away in semi-final one. But I still loved her, and I really wish I knew how she went in the jury. I asked my friends who were there, and they said she sounded great. So that there was like a technical glitch with. Oh, that's right. Someone said that her dress got caught in her crown, but I don't think that's something that the jury would care about much. And then I have to think, well, okay, so the jury gave a six, and 12 points from Poland and Romania. I'm pretty sure we only got 12. We got 12 points from them, not only, but did we get 12 points from anyone else? I don't think so. But yeah. That's still super impressive. I'm glad we at least got 12 points. I was like, I just want to get some 12 points, please. And so I'm so happy at that. And sixth place is amazing in the jury. But why didn't they not give us the betting with no one with any kind of industry background put second place for us? And then that didn't happen. So why did that not happen? Why did that not happen for the jury? The televote was a lot more predictable for me that they would not give so much. Where do we come in the televote? I'm going to find out now. Okay, we came seventh in the televote. So we came sixth in the jury, seventh in the televote, which gave us ninth. And the reason for that is because other people were um, higher and stuff. People had a higher kind of thing. Where did North Macedonia come in the end for televote? 12th. They came 12th and they came second in the jury. Still not, doesn't make it in the biggest swing ever, but it's a big swing. Um, yeah, so Australia came sixth and seventh, made them ninth. Televote, wow, that is a really good result considering we kind of went through the televote not being that into Australia anymore. So I was really not expecting high votes. And they delivered. They gave seventh place, which if we had come like first in the jury or second, we may have been able to maintain a high spot with seventh in the televote. But I was when they were going through it, and I was like, oh no, because I think maybe if we got six in the jury, what are we going to get in the televote? Because we always get like three times worse in the televote. And we end up getting pretty much the same ranking. So that was okay. So now, why did the jury give us six instead of second and first? It's a really ridiculous, precocious kind of question to ask in a kind of horror way, because many countries would love to have that kind of position with the jury. But I had heard a lot of talk of we would be top two in the jury. The reason why I guess you have to go with is they don't like anything that seems novelty. And I think at the end of the day, the stage design was just too novelty for them. They didn't think that they were focusing on the music. They also thought that it wasn't something that could be a contemporary song. The jury also have EBU's best interest in mind. So the more that radios play Eurovision songs, the better it is for Eurovision's legacy. And that's why Eurovision are really keen on having songs that are not just sophisticated, but sophisticated airplay songs. And look, I'm fine with that. That's why they gave it to fourth place to Isaiah, because they thought it was a good ballad that you could play on like smooth radio. This one, and Elise actually made a really good point in our jury video. So check out the jury video on Australia on my channel later. You can subscribe to remember that to watch that video. But she said that this song Zero Gravity wouldn't be able to go really on much airplay because it can't be on mainstream. Like think of your most biggest pop radio station where you live. Would they play Zero Gravity? Well, in Sydney, radio stations like Kiss FM, Today FM, Nova, no way, they wouldn't play it. Would they play this on a classical radio station? No way. It's too poppy for classic. So it's too classical for pop. It's too pop for classic. Would they play this on Triple J, which is like an independent radio station, like an indie sound, where they play like kind of unearthed musicians? No way. And that's where Kate Miller Heidke gets a lot of her cred from in independent folk festivals. Do you think she could go to a music festival and perform this? No way. It's not in the key interest. So I think it fits perfectly with Eurovision or musical theater of some sort. And I think that's why the jury didn't see that crazy appeal that everyone thought the jury would see. I think maybe if we had like one final, if like Australia, I'm not suggesting this, but let's say Australia was in the big five and we became part of the big six. I'm not saying that we're going to take over your competition through financial gains, but if it was our first performance and we came up with that, I think we would have had so much hype. I think I could put money on. See, I don't bet. but maybe I should have with these things because I honestly think we won the semi-final one. Um, and I think there was just this crazy hype from rehearsals. She delivered such an incredible performance from the performance anyway. I can't speak for the jury because I didn't see it, but if she emulated the exact same thing, oh my gosh. And so now I think a few days has passed and the hype is gone, and a lot of people are now saying like, well, I'm sorry to be unpopular, but I don't like Australia. And so other people are like, me either, me either. And so I think there's this whole thing of like, there's a bit more division now with Australia, whereas for a few days, we were like the center of the storm. We were the storm, bringing chaos to all. And I think that's gone now. And I think that's why the jury loved it a lot, but somewhat didn't unanimously love it as much as a song like Sound of Silence, for that reason, because it's just not airplay friendly in any way. It's not even niche friendly. Um, it can only be performed well live and to a dedicated audience that wants to see that particular thing. So yeah, comments as well. I had a lot of great comments from some people. Um, I think that's everything I kind of want to discuss. I was going to go through all of them. I ended up not going through all of them. But I talked about people little by little. Israel only ended up getting. Oh, Israel got some points in the televote, but they only got one vote from. I can't remember who gave them 12 points. Was it Georgia? I don't know. But they got 12 points from a country. And that was really cool. And then that was the only points they got from the jury. So yeah. Iceland came 10th. That's kind of where I thought it would be. Belarus deserved more than 25th. France ended up coming 14th. They must have got a bunch of little points because I didn't see them getting like 12 points or anything. I never saw them at the top of the board. So they must have done a really good job of getting a lot of middle points to get them to 14th. Serbia came 17th. I'm glad for her. Spain came 22nd. We spoke about that earlier in the video. Greece came 21st. That was a shock to me. I said I didn't like. I assumed that Katrin Duska had this kind of resonating voice where she could fill the room up, and then she just sang really quietly in the beginning part of her microphone. She was like, "Go deep with me," but she was singing so quietly. But because she got a mic on, she, you heard her throughout the arena. But she was very close singer. I am shocked that Slovenia came 13th, but I will say with Greece anyway, 22nd. I'm shocked for 21st. I'm shocked that that song got that low because I gave it 10th. Cyprus came 15th. Everyone was talking about how Cyprus was going to win. Slovenia came 13th. San Marino came 20th. San Marino looked disappointed. He didn't get a lot of votes, but 20th. That is San Marino's best position in history. It's amazing. So yeah, just like Australia, I want to see San Marino win just to see what happens. Is anyone just like curious of making that actually happen? Albania came 18th, which is good. We talked about Germany and the travesty that was Newport. We didn't talk about Norway and their crazy amount of televotes. They didn't get that many in the jury. I'll see what they came in the jury. Norway came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th. It was okay. They came 15th in the jury. Yeah. 15th in the jury. And then what did they come in the televote? Oh my god, they came first. Right? Yeah. They actually came first in the televote. Oh, wow. They came first in the televote, which it was really lovely to see her. Like she cried out of joy and stuff. It was so cool. It was really cool to see, and that was the first thing that I was like, okay, this format works so well because that kind of shock is just great to see. Um, they ended up coming, so they got 15th in the jury, first in the televote, which gave them fifth. That's amazing. So they actually got. Wait a second. That means that no winner actually came. No winner actually won Eurovision this year again. Because what did Netherlands come? Netherlands didn't not win the jury. What did they come? Netherlands came third in the jury, and then third in the televote. So third and third gave a win. That's crazy. We kept like obsessing over the fact that Ukraine got second and second and won, and now we've got someone that came third and won. And so that's the thing. Like sometimes it's your second favorite. Sometimes it's not just like being the best; it's being second favorite. But that's why they need to change the televoting, how to vote as a televoter. And I'd like to bring that up. I'm going to make a whole video about that. I'm going to make like a proposal to the EBU to do that next year. But they probably can't change voting for that many times now. What I think Norway sang really well. The guy that's like, oh yeah, sang it his best this year. Tonight, he sang it the best. And I said I actually liked Mr. Unicorn, but that song is such a grower on me that I'm really into it. I had it as 28th as my voting before watching the lives. Um, and I still don't think it would win, but I completely understand why that would do well with the televote. And it wasn't a non-sophisticated song like it came 15th. It was nice and off. The only thing is that there's still that claim in that there's the melody in the chorus is super similar to Finland last year. But I love the lyrics about like and it talks about like the Northern Lights are dancing. It's just a party song. It's a party song saying like Northern Lights are dancing. Like they're great references and very patriotic and yeah, and I loved how humbled they were and I loved seeing the reaction when they got the televote results. Anyway, I've been speaking for 2 hours and sitting here, so I think I'm going to go. If anyone has any last comments, check out my channel. I made videos, review videos on all the countries this year with the juries and that I've got on my channel. And we made a big video up where we did our official MJT reviews ranking. So see how that ties up with the actual results. But yeah, there's more I could probably analyze those jury and televote swings. I'm going to do a video on the semi-finals swing results because they will be very interesting, I think. I want to see where Armenia came. I want to see where Poland came. Yeah, and thanks Poland and Romania for the 12 points. So cool. And I can't remember if we got 12 points from someone else. But anyway, I'm going to go now. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want. And I'll be doing a lot of other videos as well. So stay tuned. Let's get ready for 2020. I'm calling it now. I'm going to Eurovision. I'm not going to say how I'm going to Eurovision, but let's just leave it at that. And I guess I will see you in the Netherlands. Well done on your first win since the 70s. Fifth win now. You're like equal third with UK, Luxembourg, and France. Okay. Bonsoir, Europe. And good night, everyone. Woohoo. Bye bye.